Hey guys, how are we doing? Crypto Insight UK here, bringing you back another YouTube video. So to start with, we have some Ripple versus SEC news. Then I'm going to get on to something interesting that I think I've found and some price action. So the SEC Ripple update, if you guys haven't seen it already, Ripple have agreed to basically put in 111% of their fine in a trust because they're supposedly they should pay their fine after 30 days of the decision, and that would be in 2 days' time. But because the SEC haven't made a decision about whether they're going to appeal or not, Ripple say, I don't want to pay you, you collect interest on the money that I paid you, and then, we don't want to pay you, don't want you to collect interest on the money that we've paid you, and then you appeal and give us our money back, but you've collected the interest. That's not fair, essentially, because it's a lot of money. So they basically said to the SEC, are you going to appeal or not? They've said, we don't, essentially that we don't know. So Ripple have put the money in a trust, which unlocks 30 days after the appeal deadline. So basically, Fred Rispoli said this isn't a guarantee they're going to appeal, but it ups his odds of appeal to 60-40 in favor. He said, it's likely that Ripple said, we have a check ready, are you going to appeal this or not? And then the SEC say, we can't crypto policy. If you think about it, Ripple said, we'll collect all interest from you if we pay you, you appeal and we win. And the SEC said, right, let's put the money in a vault then while we decide and we'll get back to you. It's not exactly great, but then he said to those freaking out over an SEC Ripple appeal, there won't be a rule until 2026. If they do appeal, the SEC tokens, securities that has lessened the sting dramatically, and if Ripple and or XRP don't make it now, it's not because of the SEC case. So I know we're all emotionally scarred by the SEC, including myself. Even if they appeal, it's not the end of the world, essentially. Jeremy Hogan said it's most likely, his speculation is it's most likely that the SEC hasn't made a decision on whether they're going to appeal yet. Why? Because it takes 15 minutes to file the notice of an appeal, and then they have 70 days to file the actual appeal itself. So it's more likely that they just haven't made a decision, or, in my opinion, they're just messing Ripple around. If they don't appeal by the 7th of October, they're probably just messing Ripple around, in my opinion. But with that being said, it's a big case. It's a lot of money on the line. They've been fighting it for a long time. It's massively in the global spotlight. So they have to make the decision that's best for them, whether I like that or not. That's what I would suggest personally. So now getting on to crypto price action, and then something that I think I've found that's interesting. Oh, just gave you a little sneak peek there. This is Bitcoin's liquidity. There's definitely liquidity to be taken below us. At around 53,000, more people are piling in longs trying to catch the bottom, but there's still all this liquidity above us. So I do presume that we will potentially scoop this liquidity below us and probably the liquidity above, and what order that happens, I genuinely don't know. I'm just, like, in this range, I wouldn't be trading unless we start to get a move into one of those areas of liquidity, and that's when you can look at where you're going to take a trade. So for example, are we going to have something like this, or is it going to go the other way around? Is it going to go up here and down here? Like, that's how you have to trade this range, unfortunately, until something structurally changes. So that's what I'd be doing if I was looking to take a trade on this, which I'm not currently. So now what have I found that's different? Actually, before that, we're going live today in about 2.5 hours from the time of recording. So probably about, it's 3 o'clock Dubai time, or 1 p.m. Eastern time. European time, it's because it says ET, so it makes me think Eastern. But what have I found? Right. Litecoin's doing something interesting, if you ask me. Like, if you look at it on the 4 hour, yes, okay, we're pulling back a little bit now, but we've had the highest 4 hourly close since the 2nd of August. So, and nothing else is really breaking out too much. You could say Aave has been doing pretty well, but hasn't really broken out of its range. Litecoin has been holding support and looks to have just poked its head above the range, which I think is pretty interesting. Why is that interesting? Well, when we look at Litecoin or against Litecoin's dominance in the market, something interesting is happening there too, and I'm going to show you a few things. First off, there's a trend break here that we've actually created. I'll show you on the daily time frame first. There's some lines drawn in, so it might not make sense right now. But first off, there's a trend break where we've actually created a higher low and then broken the high. So we're creating a higher high now. So this could be the start of a reversal pattern, potentially, but obviously nothing confirmed yet. But when we look, we are also overbought on the daily, so let's see what that means and what that affects, if that just means that we're just bouncing a little bit too hard. But if we look on the monthly, something interesting is happening in my opinion. We've got a big monthly bullish divergence where we've created a lower low and price action, but a higher low in RSI. And the RSI also looks like it's curling up to have a bullish cross. So why is this important? Well, in 2017, and if you look at this, if you're familiar with the XRP chart, this is the monthly time frame, Litecoin rallied roughly 11,000% in, we'll call it just over a year. So let's say that's 7 months, but we're missing those 3 or 4 candles. So say about a year. And what happened with XRP in that time? Well, that was this period for XRP. XRP rallied 65,000%, so outperformed Litecoin quite heavily, but still in the same sort of period and doing the same sort of thing. Like structurally, they look kind of similar. And it's also strange that if we look at, like we have been monitoring, XRP versus Bitcoin, XRP versus Ethereum, XRP's been outperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum for the last few months, and especially few weeks. And XRP dominance is starting to come up, potentially getting the bullish cross on the RSI after months and months of bleeding out against Bitcoin. Basically, XRP has been bleeding out against Bitcoin, against the market, since the 1st of May 2017. And Litecoin has been bleeding out against the market since, I would presume, if we look here, I haven't got the historical data, but I was going to say I presume since May 2017. This is July of 2017, so pretty much similar in that structure, and kind of similar in price action as well. If we just go back to Litecoin price action, if I probably can't find that now. Litecoin's price action, basically since 2017, we did set a double top in the last cycle, but we've just been accumulating. Like nothing's happened structurally for Litecoin. We've just ranged. We've ranged since the top in 2017. And what's happened with XRP, as we all know, this is probably a better chart to look at. Let's just take my drawings off. Obviously, this is just into 2018, so it's in January. But we've basically just ranged since 2018. We didn't set that double top. We could say that's because of the lawsuit. But the structure is very similar. And it's just interesting to me that they're starting to show some signs. Obviously they could be just reversals of waking up or breaking trends. If I show you Litecoin against Bitcoin, it's obviously nothing to hang your hat on quite yet, so don't get too excited, but let me show you on the daily time frame. Again, there is a clear trend break here on the daily, and look, nothing's confirmed. We could just wick down and continue with the pattern that we're in, but we've created a higher low, and now we've created a higher high. And this is basically what I've been saying for XRP against Ethereum. Things like Litecoin, things like XRP, look to be taking some market share back. Now, whether this is a retrace or we're getting ready for a breakout in some of these assets, I don't know, and only time's going to tell. But very clearly and factually, XRP against ETH has been eating away at ETH's market share. It's been outperforming ETH since, well, the bottom's here. It's been outperforming ETH since the 7th of June, very clearly, and we're so close to a close above this line here. We've created the higher lows. We need to see this continuation and break through this level. I presume when we start breaking this 0.000233 level, we will start to see some big green candles again, and it will probably start to rip because we've got all this consolidation that will push us higher. But it's just interesting, guys. That's all I'm saying is keep your eye on Litecoin, keep your eye on XRP, and look at their comparison of them against ETH and Bitcoin, and look at their dominance charts. That could be giving us a signal. I am looking very deeply at this because you need to look for signs when they are out there in the market. I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to go too much further into that, but I did want to bring everyone's attention to that's an extra thing on top of the fact that XRP might be starting to do something interesting that you guys should probably keep your eye on. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Am I overthinking that, or do you think there's something interesting there? Peace up, A-Town down, as Crypto Insight UK would say.